into it. Hey, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Tuesday night comic book stream here at Fantasy Books and Games. I'm Aaron. This is Sam.
I'm Sam.
And hello, Jesse
Hey.
Bills. We're going to show off some comics that come out tomorrow. I'm like, it's weird. We have comic books weeks. Sometimes there'll just be like a million new comics, and other times there's only a handful.
Right.
And like in a lot of these past weeks where there've been a big heavy release week, and I just like don't have any time to like read anything, so I kind of have to like fake it, that I know what I'm talking about. And this week I actually had time. I think between the two of us we read like a dozen
Yeah.
comics, and it wasn't even a huge week or anything, so
No.
we really we like had our pick, like our choice picks. Like we had time to sit down and really you know get a feel for them in thoroughly. So I'm looking forward to talking about some stuff a little in depth. I like to always start these streams out with some facsimile reprints.
Yes.
And I've said this before. I think I've said rather sarcastically that if Marvel would just reprint all their old Silver Age comics, just start the series, just reprint Fantastic Four #1, and just go for 500 issues, I'd probably be buying it every month. And so far, they've actually been keeping up with that. There are issue 5 of Fantastic Four facsimile reprint. They've been reprinting the series, the first at least 5 issues. I haven't paid attention to see how long they're going to do it, but as long as they keep doing it, I will keep buying them. This is the first issue of Doctor Doom, so this is Doctor Doom's first appearance, and it's pretty cool. Like, it's a Stan Lee, Jack Kirby comic. You can kind of see like it's like an early design of Doom. He's a little like he just wears a cloak over his iron mask, but I don't want to flip through this too much. Everybody should be familiar with Fantastic Four, of course. But this issue does have one of my favorite jokes, which is the issue starts with Johnny Storm reading a Hulk comic book, and it's like in universe. So like Reed is like, "What are you reading?" And he goes, "It's this great new comic mag." And then he makes a joke about how the Thing looks like the Hulk, like because he's a monster.
Yeah.
And I think in the original version, it even had like a little thing on the bottom of the page that said Hulk #4 on the stands now, like available for purchase. Just good to know the comment box works. Yes, that is good to know. But yeah, it's just some more of Stan Lee's shameless hucksterism. He never misses an opportunity to advertise themselves,
Right.
even in story. He has the characters reading Marvel comic books and talking about how great they are.
Yeah.
Like, it's Stanception or something. I don't know. But yeah, I enjoy Stan Lee and Jack Kirby comics, so I'm really glad that they're coming out with these. Another facsimile that's coming out tomorrow. You might not realize it's a facsimile at first because it's not a 60-year-old comic book.
Right.
This is Batman Legends of the Dark Knight Halloween Special #1. It's a one shot, but it is by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale. And so this is from 1993. So this is like a classic 90s Batman. First of all, I really like this cover. This is a really nice, like the jack-o'-lantern with like the bat symbol as the teeth. That's really cool. And this is like some early Tim Sale art. It's really good, but it's before he, I guess you would say maybe he refined his style.
It doesn't have that same look.
Yeah, like you can tell like where he's going with it.
Right.
I think this is really good, but this is definitely him trying to draw more like a traditional superhero comic book.
Right.
Whereas later on, he really developed that minimalist style where it was just as few lines as possible, and it just had just an elegance to it.
Yes.
But I really like this one. It's Batman on Halloween, and Scarecrow is loose. There's a particularly good page. Oh yeah, this is the one I wanted to show off. They go to a costume party, and Sam, can you see how many characters that you recognize at this costume ball?
Okay.
There are several like indie comics characters at the time, for like early '90s indies comic characters.
I recognize Cerebus.
Yeah, there's Cerebus right there.
I can't think of
That's
their name.
Milk and Cheese by Evan Dorkin.
Oh, Milk and Cheese.
That's Milk and Cheese.
Is
Yeah,
that supposed to be Hobbs?
that's Hobbs from Calvin and Hobbes.
And
Yeah,
that's Bone.
Bone. Yep, that's right. There's Madman right there.
Okay, yeah.
There's I
That
think
Mike
there's a
Allred's guy, or
yeah, Mike
yeah.
Allred. That's right. I think there's a few others. I know, like there's like the Tin Woodsman here from Wizard of Oz, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if I can get this in camera. Yeah, in the bottom, I think that's also the Tin Woodsman, but from the 1980, the mid 80s Return to Oz
Oh,
movie.
from
That's like
the
the dark 80s
yeah.
sequel to Wizard of Oz. I
Hmm.
think that's who that is. I just have a lot of fun like looking at this and just seeing all the like the different characters. So yeah, that's you know that's fun.
Yeah, that is
But it's
fun.
also it's a good comic. It's an oversized book. It's like 80 pages, so it's
Oh,
basically
nice.
a graphic novel, just a nice little Batman Halloween comic. I'll have to be honest. I tried to do a little bit of research. I don't know why they're putting it out right now and not at Halloween.
That's funny that you mention it too, because another book that I was reading also takes place in
That's right. We're going to
Halloween.
talk about that, and
Yeah.
it's also a Halloween book. And I'm like, that's weird. It's May, but
Yeah.
I guess maybe if they're planning it to where, like, I don't know about the facsimile. I assume the facsimile is because it's a Tim Sale book,
Right.
and they're doing the Long Halloween, Last Halloween series, which
Yeah.
is like a tribute to Tim Sale, and they're also, I think they did a facsimile reprint of the first Last Halloween book. I don't know. It's a Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb Halloween Batman comic, but it's not part of the Last Halloween or Long Halloween series. I don't know. There's just too many.
It's its own
It's
thing.
its own thing, but again, I don't know. I don't know specifically. I guess I tried to look it up and I couldn't find anything overtly. But yeah, you're right. With the other series, I'm assuming it's because maybe they're going to put out like 4 issues and then they'll have a trade paperback ready for
By
Halloween.
the time, yeah.
May, June, July, August, September. Oh, they could do like a 6 issues and then have the
Yeah.
trade. I think
There we
that's what they're
go.
doing.
That's what they're going for.
Yeah. Okay. But still, it's weird reading Halloween themed things in May. Um, let's see. Oh yeah, we don't need to worry about that. There's a few collected editions and trade paperbacks coming out tomorrow. I just wanted to briefly highlight. I like that DC's putting out these new DC Finest books, and they're just big. They're similar to Marvel's Epic collections. If you've seen them, DC has used the DC Finest name for a long time, but I like that they're reprinting a lot of their classic stuff. This has Superboy comics from 1954 and 1955, I think. It
Okay.
actually says so on the back. They've got a nice little, yeah, 54 and 55 right there. But what's cool about this book is that might be notable is that it has. Oh, I thought I had a bookmark. There it is. This is the first appearance of Crypto. This is the very first Crypto
Oh,
comic.
heck yeah.
Is printed in here, and so that's kind of fun. I like this is I guess this is kind of like not I forget where the like golden and silver age kind of ends. It's like somewhere in the late 50s.
Right.
This is probably still technically golden age, which but I also always associate golden age with like early 40s, like
Yeah.
the really crude stuff. So the 50s Superboy stuff's a little bit more refined than that, but still cool stuff. I like me some classic Superman. Also coming out tomorrow. This caught my attention. I haven't had a chance to read it, but I flipped through it a little bit. This book looks really cool. It's called The Giant. Excuse me, The Giant. Orson Welles, The Artist and the Shadow. And it looks like this is like equal parts biopic and also like mixed with a little like personal mythology and fiction to tell the story of Orson Welles,
Hmm.
who famous film director. Also, probably most famous as the voice of Unicron in
Do
Transformers.
you think
That's probably
most
what he's
famous?
most famous for. Yeah. No, he might be most famous for the wine commercials that he did, where he was like, he wasn't just drunk. I think the story. Have you seen those? You know what I'm talking
No,
about.
I
He
haven't.
famously, like Orson Welles, did these commercials in the '70s where he was like old, and all the outtakes got released where he like couldn't say the lines and he's like really drunk,
Okay.
and it was kind of the butt of a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
I think the story is though that he was on like a lot of painkillers actually, so
Oh.
it wasn't he wasn't like drunk on the wine, he was like loopy from the medication, and
Well, the wine didn't help.
well, I don't think he drank the wine.
Oh.
I think it was just the medication. But he was like such a like he wanted to cancel the somebody wanted to cancel the commercial shoot, and he was like, "No, I can do it. I'm a professional." And then he had a lot of trouble with it. So it's unfortunate that it was for wine because it just made it look like he was
Yeah.
drunk on the wine. But anyway, this I'm if you are if you're a cinephile or if you just really like a good tragic artist, I'm sure you're well aware of the story of Orson Welles. And so yeah, this looks really interesting to me. It's got some interesting interesting art style. I guess I should say it's by Yusuf Dowdy, so who's somebody I'm not familiar with, but it's a striking cover. I think it looks really cool. So I'm excited to dig into it and see how it is. Oop, almost almost made a fool of myself on the stream. Another book coming out tomorrow. I won't really be able to flip through this because it is sealed and I don't want to open it. This is a beautiful oversized hardcover for A Vicious Circle. And this is it's written by Matson Tomlin, and art is by the great Lee Bermejo. And this was a 3-issue series that they did a few years ago. It's finally finished, and it's just a cool sci-fi time travel story about these two like soldier assassins that are trying to kill each other through time.
Oh.
But like it's a little weird and it's a little surreal, so I don't want to like have to over explain it. But like every time they kill somebody, they uncontrollably time travel to just like some random place, and so it's like if they kill the other person, they'll be stranded in the time where they are at. It's kind of weird, but like there's dinosaurs, there's like future stuff. There's a little bit of a commentary on racism because there's a part where they get trapped in the 60s and it's like in the middle of the like civil rights movement and stuff. And yeah, it's a really good book, written by, like I said, Matson Tomlin. He is the co-writer of the Batman movie, the most recent one, Robert Pattinson, the Batman. And he also wrote a Batman book a few years ago. I think it was called Imposter, that I thought was pretty good. So I enjoyed this quite a bit. I think I talked about it when the issues were coming out on the stream, but that literally might have been 2 years ago, you know. But yeah, check it out. It's pretty good. Okay. We'll talk about a few things that I got picked out. Actually, no, we'll talk about this real quick, and then I'm gonna have you pull something up that you're excited about. So, like I said, it's not a huge week for me. There was only one book in my poll, and that's Transformers.
That was the only book.
That was the only book in my poll. Well, the Fantastic Four facsimile technically was in my poll, but you know, I buy all the facsimiles regardless. So, but yeah, Transformers. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it, but this issue is pretty great. As you can kind of see from the cover, Megatron has made his return. This is kind of what the series has been building up to. Like that's his shadow over Starscream. And I'm gonna go ahead. I don't know if I want to like spoil it, but like, well, first of all, I really liked that a GI Joe character shows up, Doc. I just like that we're seeing a little bit more of the connected universe. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to talk too much about Transformers. There's a great scene between Megatron and Starscream in this issue that I really, really, really liked. It's like just shows how cool and great Megatron is as a bad guy.
Nice.
Also coming out tomorrow, though, this is a new one that's worth pointing out, is the Energon Universe special for 2025. If you went to Free Comic Book Day, you would have seen that there was a Free Comic Book Day version of this, the 2025 special. But if you missed it, you can get the what I don't know what you should call it, the retail version, I guess. It has a different cover though, so you're not, you got to appeal to all of the collectors. Like, yeah, you got the free one, but you don't have the one with the Daniel Warren Johnson cover. So that's how they're going to get me. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, so this book just works as like a primer, a little introduction to the 3 books in the main books in the Energon universe: GI Joe, Transformers, and Void Rivals. It just got a little short GI Joe story that's picking up where the last issue of GI Joe left off. It's got a short Transformers story. Actually, it's mostly just GI Joe. Now that I take it back. But yeah, there's little. It's mostly GI Joe, but there is a Transformers story with Jazz, who is one of the few Transformers toys that I did actually have.
Cool.
And then there's a Void Rivals thing in the back. Yes. So yeah, if you're like thinking about getting into the Energon universe, this is like a decent. It's designed to be introductory. Okay, Sam, you said you read 4 books.
I
What's
read
something that you
4
read?
books. Let's
You
just
read three
go
and a
off the
half
top.
books.
3.5. Let's see. I read X Factor number 10 this week.
X Factor 10.
Yes.
Okay. This is by Mark Russell, right? Is he still writing
Mm-hmm.
this? Yes, Mark Russell. So, what did you think about this?
I thought it was a pretty good. I believe it's the end of this particular run of X Factor, and I
Okay.
thought it was an okay send off.
Okay.
Um, this one, X Factor, the current run anyway, is definitely on the goofier side.
Yeah.
There's characters like Granny Smite,
Yeah,
who
yeah.
her mutant power is just she can't die, and they come up with a lot of comedic ways to use that.
Mhm.
Um, they are like an X-Men group or a mutant group rather that is working with the U.S. government in the hopes of kind of making stuff better for mutants, and doesn't. And
That's usually how it goes. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't want to give away the ending, but this is the ending issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I read the first couple issues of this. We talked about it on the stream because I like Mark Russell as a
Right.
writer, and I was so struck by the first issue because I thought it was a really
Mm,
strong first issue,
yes.
where like the whole team kind of basically gets
Dies.
killed.
Yeah.
Like spoiler alert. But I also was struck because it reminded me of one of my favorite X Men series, Ecstatics,
Yeah. Yeah.
from like 20 years ago. Was the Mike Allred comic,
Okay.
and so it was like it felt like Mark Russell was definitely riffing on that, but it also didn't quite grab me all the way. And I think I like missed an issue because I don't think it shipped on time, or we just didn't get it in.
Which one?
I don't remember which. It was
Yeah.
probably 4 or 5,
Okay.
and then like I just didn't realize I missed an issue and just didn't miss it. Like I realized I was like several issues behind. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm just not going to follow that anymore. But yeah, so this is issue 10. So you think solid 10 issue run?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you think of the art?
Art was all right.
Art's okay.
You kind of talked a little bit about the Marvel, like how like soft and
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Everything like has that like I don't know what to describe it. It's like a glow to it.
Yeah.
Soft is a good way to describe it.
Right.
Yeah, everything's like rounded. Just yeah, I don't know. I think that was probably another one of the reasons I didn't like get excited about following it because I thought it was serviceable, but it didn't really grab me.
It's good for telling a story.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so while we're talking about art, we're going to briefly mention that this is an exclusive book that we have in the store. This is Autographical number 3, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but this is a comic that I wrote and drew, and so you can get it in the store if you're interested in supporting truly indie comics. It is so independent that it's only available in this store. That's how indie it is. But I have to also mention that this is not just by me. This is also by my lovely wife Jessica. She does a lot of the finishes on these pages. So like you can kind of see it on the like this is a pencil sketch that I did, and then this is the finished colored, inked and
Nice.
colored version. But yeah, this has just got a bunch of short autobiographical stories by me and her helping out with the art. And I think my favorite story in here is comic I did. It's called Disaster at the Deadpool Dance Party, and it's about the time I. It's about an experience that I had. We'll say that it's about an experience that I had
At a Deadpool dance party?
at a comic book convention
Oh,
with a bunch of Deadpool cosplayers.
okay.
And like I said, I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it was an experience. So yeah, if you if you watch the stream and you think like, hey, what a bunch of cool guys, like yeah, you can. Here's a chance to find out how cool we really are. All right, moving on to some of the real comics. One of the biggest comics that's coming out tomorrow that I'm pretty excited about is Battle Beast from the Invincible universe. I know Invincible's kind of huge right
It's
now.
having a moment.
Like it's kind of funny because like Invincible was having a huge moment like 20 years ago as a
Yes.
comic book series, and now here we are 20 years later, and it's got the anime series, and it's even bigger. Which I guess is kind of what happened to Walking Dead when they had the TV
Right.
show. It just like blew up even more. But so like the weird thing is though that Invincible has been not canceled but finished for a while now before the animated series came out.
Right.
So I think they finally Kirkman finally came up with something to do that can kind of be like a new tie-in to Invincible, and that's this Battle Beast story. You don't have to have read Invincible at all to appreciate this.
Okay.
This is just basically just a sci-fi epic kind of story. There's one page, which is like this is like the page of Invincible that he was in, where he just like kills a bunch of people and then leaves, and that's like because the character is treated as I'll add everybody on Discord. Thank you for the comments. If the Battle Beast was kind of like a I don't want to say a joke character, but he was like filling a trope of just this like space warrior who his only desire is conquest. He just wants to find a worthy opponent. And then the joke in the issue is that he doesn't find one. Like he just beats the crap out of everybody. And like he's brought in as like a not like specifically a henchman, but he's like working with the villain. And then he just like destroys everybody, and he's like, "This is not worth my time," and just leaves. And so then like Invincible still has to deal with whatever's going on in the plot, and Battle Beast just leaves. Where he could have just like killed everybody if he wanted to, but he's like, "This is beneath me," and he just leaves. And that's kind of just like the. And then he showed up in other places. He shows up in other places like in the story arc, but this is kind of his continuing adventures, you could say, where and the basic setup is it basically is what I just said, which is he's seeking a powerful warrior that's strong enough to kill him,
Right.
because nobody can defeat him because he's just fueled by rage, and he just wants to go to war.
He's just too
Yeah,
strong.
he's just too strong, and also he's a beast, so he's eating these people. So there's like a little bit of a horror edge to this. It's definitely following in the spirit of Invincible, which was like a superhero comic but really bloody. Because like part of the uniqueness of Invincible when it first came out was like, oh, if you had these people with superpowers just wailing on each other, they would just be like actually wrecking each other. Like
Right.
teeth would be flying out, bones would be breaking, and like in a standard Marvel DC comic, they get like a little bruised, maybe,
Yeah.
like Peter Parker has like maybe like a black eye at worst. But like here, it's like people are getting like slaughtered, like cut in half, and arms ripped off and stuff like that. And so yeah, this just kind of continues in that, and it really is just a very simple thing. It's just him. He's on this spaceship, and the artificial AI wants to kill him because he slaughtered the crew of the AI of the ship. And so their goal is he's like, okay, ship, find me a bunch of powerful warriors and they will kill me, and that's what I want. So they're just traveling through space trying to find aliens that are strong enough to kill him. And the big selling point here is Ryan Otley's art. It's so nice to see him back on not just an Image book, but like something that really lets him cut loose. And like, yeah, there's so many like, yeah, like it's creepy looking alien. So yeah, I really like this. I do recommend it. If you haven't read Invincible, you can read it. It's solid. It's good. It's a number one. There are a lot of variant covers out for it. And one of the things that they're doing is that they're doing these Battle Beast blind bag variant covers, and you don't know what variant cover you're going to get. And I've heard tell you can even get other comics in these. Like you could get an advanced copy of issue 2, or you could get a reprint of Invincible 19 that has the first appearance of Battle Beast. And also, I think probably the rarest of all is the reprint of Marvel Team Up 15, which is the issue of the Marvel comic where Spider-Man or Invincible crossed over with Spider-Man in the Spider-Man series. So I figured I'm gonna get this blind bag because I really like this series. So let's just open it up on stream and see what we get. You wanna do that?
What are you hoping for the most?
You know what? I don't really know. Yeah. Like not to brag, but I actually have original copies of Marvel Team Up 15 and Invincible 19. I was buying comics way back then, and I got them.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe an advanced copy of issue 2 would be kind of cool because I really enjoyed issue 1. So I don't know. What do you think? Let's see what we get. So I'm gonna just like put it on the downward camera here. We got some scissors. Oh, are you nervous?
A little.
I'm a little nervous. These scissors are not working well. There we go. Okay, we're getting it. Okay, I gotta get off the downward camera. We gotta. We're gonna do this like this here. Let's see what we get. Okay. Oh, tell him a joke, Sam.
A joke. Oh God, I don't know any jokes.
Okay, here we go. I got it. All right, so get this open. All right, I haven't looked at it yet. Now we'll go to the downward camera. All right, let's see what it is. Oh my goodness, there we go. Oh, it's the bottom of the issue. Okay, it is. All right, there we go. That is. I don't know which variant that is. I think that's one of the regular variants though. So yeah, pretty cool. Blind bags are fun. Just people like gambling, so yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, so definitely check out Battle Beast. I really enjoyed it. All right, what's something else you read today,
Another
Sam?
thing that I read was Batman Dark Patterns #6.
Ooh, have we talked about this on the
I
stream
don't
before?
think we have.
Because I have had several. Yeah, I do. Now I have to buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it. I've had several people tell me that Batman Dark Patterns is really really good.
It's cool.
And I didn't read issue 1 because it was, I'm sure I don't have to tell you. You work in a comic book store. They make a lot of Batman comics. And there was like a week where there was probably like 4 Batman books out, and I had to pick one to read because I don't need to read 4 Batman comics, and so I skipped over that one, and I kind of regret it because I'm hearing that it's really really good.
It's solid.
Let's put it on the camera.
I think one thing that I've heard you mention in previous streams is that you like art that's like full, like when the page looks full.
Yeah.
This is like that.
I see. Yeah. I don't know why. I guess I probably didn't even flip through it because like flipping through this now, like it looks so good.
Yeah.
And I like that like classic bat suit.
So this is the conclusion because I guess they're doing it. It's a 12-issue series,
Uh-huh.
but they're doing it in like 3-issue mini stories.
Oh, okay.
So in this particular issue, Batman's got to rescue some kidnapped cops who are in this building, and the whole building is under the influence of the ventriloquist dummy Scarface.
Yes, I love that character.
Yes, so you'll like, yeah.
Okay, he was in some great episodes of the animated series.
Yes, he was.
Yeah. This looks really good. Even this this coloring here, this reminds me of Batman Year One. Like,
oh yeah,
like it just kind of has that vibe, the way the color is used, and that's something that I do often. Like when I complain about a comic and I don't like the art, a lot of times it's because I don't like the coloring.
Oh.
And like this is good. Like yeah, this looks great, man. I guess I'm sure they're going to put it out as a trade paperback soon, so I'm probably going to have to get that.
Yeah.
So like you said, what was the story in this one?
So this is Batman basically trying to rescue 2 cops from being killed by this like group that's gathered under the voice of Scarface. Okay. Scarface is apparently inhabiting the entire building now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And it's really good. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah. You don't have to spoil it. I mean, it is a Batman book. Ideally, the best Batman books all have a little bit of a detective, mystery to them.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. I'm definitely when the trade comes out, I'm going to read that, and we'll probably talk about it on the stream again because it looks really good.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one thing that I'm not going to say I read it, but I did skim through it because I was just looking for something new to show off, and I felt like it was worth pointing out that it is a new #1. It is Gwenpool #1. Now, I'm not known for being a Gwenpool fan. I find the character to be genuinely pretty annoying. Like I already, I think I've shared my history with Deadpool on this stream before. Yeah. Like I went from being a fan to a hater. That's kind of what the comic in the autographical is about. It's about my history with Deadpool fandom. And so like when this character Gwenpool came out, I was like, oh, do we really need like another Deadpool? And so I don't have a lot to comment on that. I mostly skimmed through this because I wanted to see if Jeff the Shark was in it, because Jeff is a Gwenpool character, right. And I'm happy to say that yes, Jeff is in it. So there we go. So also Fin Fang Foom is in it, which I appreciate that because I like a good weird Marvel 60s monster. And then like I said, I skimmed it. Spider-Man's in it. I guess here's like the
There's your classic Gwenpool.
yeah, yeah. There's like a classic Gwenpool, and then this is a different Gwenpool,
Right.
and I don't want to spoil it too much, but like there's like Gwenpools fighting each other, which again. I'm just like, wow, I already don't know if I need one Gwenpool. I definitely don't need two, but that's the story, and it's silly and it's played for laughs. It's comedic, so I don't want to like sound like I'm too down on it.
That is a bloody cover.
It is, and I think that's what they're kind of going for. Like it's the extreme Gwenpool, like this is the serious one, which they've done that with Deadpool before too. But yeah, so you know what it. I guess I don't have anything else to say about it. I really don't feel one way or the other. I'm not even going to say it's fine because I didn't really read it. I flipped through it and I was like, hey, there's Jeff the Shark.
Yeah, Jeff the Shark.
I was happy about that.
We hit our Jeff quota.
That's right. We hit the Jeff quota. Okay, I've got 2 more books to talk about. What do you got over there?
Well, I also have. Would you rather talk about Absolute Batman or One World Under Doom?
Let's do both of those in whatever order you want.
All right. So One World Under Doom. This was issue 4 and what's supposed to be a 5-parter or 6?
5-issue series.
I'm not sure exactly when it ends, but
So I haven't been following any of this One World Under Doom stuff. How have you liked it? What you've read? Been okay?
I think I liked it a little more before this issue.
Okay. Is that right?
Yeah. Basically, yeah. One World Under Doom. Doom's supreme emperor of the globe, and the Avengers and everybody else is powerless to stop it.
So, like, let me ask you, because you followed it and I haven't. What is the story? Like, Doom becomes Sorcerer Supreme and he takes over the world, which has basically been his whole goal the whole time.
Right.
So now that he's in charge, like, what does he do? You know what I mean?
We haven't really seen any of that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like there was the first issue of basically him declaring his intent, and he's like got all the world leaders under him. The Avengers have tried to foil him by figuring out, okay, clearly he's using mind control when really he isn't. Or, they try to figure out why so many people are just kind of like going along with it.
Yeah.
And they're just going along with it.
They're just going along with it.
Because he's Doom.
And he's in charge.
And he's convinced them.
He's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah. He, in the second issue, I believe, he took Ben Grimm, the Thing, and removed his rock monster form, and now he's like a normal person.
Oh, okay.
And that was pretty big.
Which is, well, I mean, that's what Reed's been trying to do for his whole existence.
Exactly.
And he's always failed. And
right.
Doom succeeds where Reed fails.
And humiliates Reed.
Yeah.
When the goal was they were trying to humiliate Doom.
Yeah, and Doom spun it around on him.
Exactly.
Wow.
So in this issue, Dormammu comes to invade Earth.
Yeah, that's the old Fireface.
He manages to banish all of Earth's heroes and like put the Earth in kind of like a free state for him to fight Doom, and they fight. And which is cool.
So I guess that was my question, is like, are the way they're playing this story arc, because like I would be tempted to have a story where Doom succeeds at taking over and like actually does make the world a better place,
right.
And then makes all the heroes look like jerks, like because they're trying to stop him, but the world is a little bit better under Doom.
That's
is that kind of what they're doing?
What the series is, yeah. Okay. I wish there were like a couple more issues to like flesh out what is it actually like living under Doom,
right?
Like,
yeah,
like a slice of life issue.
Yeah, exactly. Like, does he actually affect the lives of regular people,
right.
or is it just superheroes? Yeah.
So far, just superheroes.
Okay.
And and now they're kind of. Well, yeah, I won't spoil.
Yeah, we don't need to spoil it. It's a pretty. I think it's a good looking book.
Yeah.
I forgot. I didn't say who the artist was. It's Silva. RB Silva, he's one of the Marvel's top tier artists. I think you said something to me earlier about the way Doom uses the Sorcerer Supreme powers. It basically just looks like Green Lantern powers.
And
like you said that to me, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then I looked at this page, and I was like, that's just a Green Lantern. Like that's just That's just a Green Lantern
Yeah.
ring power. Like
And
that's
it stays consistent
and that's
throughout
what
the
it
book.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, all right. So, but overall, you're
I'll finish it.
as
I'll
far as
read it
events go, like
read it
how
to
would you
the
rate
end.
it to?
Oh, I don't know about that. In terms of rating it compared to other
Other
Marvel
events?
events,
Yeah.
middle of the road.
Middle?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I appreciate that it's not too invasive. I don't know how much.
Which is funny because I think that's
I feel
what
like it
the
would be the
series.
most.
Yes.
Yeah, like everybody. It would affect literally every book.
Everyone. It
But
would be literally like I. There was a previous stream where we talked about how they had the One World Under Doom banner on like
it was
the
like a Weapon X-Men. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
And it wasn't really about that at all.
At
Yeah.
all. They go to Latveria, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, grab Absolute Batman. Let's talk about that real quick.
I liked this issue.
You
a
like
lot.
this a lot? Now
Mhm.
you've been enjoying Absolute Batman,
I
correct?
have been enjoying
Okay.
Absolute Batman.
Is this the Mr. Freeze,
Mr. Freeze
issue?
arc.
Okay.
Yes.
So Mr. Freeze, one of the best Batman villains of all time, thanks to the animated series.
Yeah.
How does he compare to the Absolute version?
He's a completely different thing.
Okay.
He's
I mean
like
that's
a-
how the
yeah.
Absolute books have been.
He's an ice monster. Is the
Okay.
best way I can describe
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a good looking book.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the artist on this? Is it
I believe it's still.
is it Nick Dragata?
Yeah.
Is he doing?
Or no, it is.
No, it's Marcos Martin. Oh, I
don't
like
know
Marcos Martin a lot. He's done some really good stuff. He did Spider-Man for a while, like 10 or so more years ago.
Wow.
He's done some stuff with Brian K. Vaughan. That's been pretty good.
Did he do?
He did Private Eye. Yes,
I love Private Eye.
Private Eye is a good book.
It was so good.
We get the hardcover off the shelf and talk about that for the stream. I really like that book.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's him. That's the same artist. Okay, so
Oh,
that
okay.
explains why this looks so good.
Yeah.
No dig on Nick Dragata. I like his art a lot, but yeah, that's cool. Okay. So what did you think of this issue then?
It was pretty good. Definitely like a lot of creepy vibes around the new Mr. Freeze. Like I said, he's kind of his own thing now. He doesn't resemble the Victor Freeze of Batman lore really at all.
Yeah. I mean that's okay. That's what a lot of the Absolute books are kind of just reinventing a lot of stuff.
Right,
you know.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
How does it compare to previous issues, like of the series so far? What is this, issue 8?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. They have a nice send off to one of their friends.
Okay.
That they've talked about in the previous issue.
Yeah.
Trying to think of stuff of note.
Well, it does look good.
It's mainly an action-packed issue.
It looks like it's full. I don't want to
happens.
flip too far into it because I don't want to like spoil anything. But yeah, it looks like it's a big. I like this page is really nice.
Yeah.
That's a cool page. Yeah, it looks like a big action book. Well, okay. Like I said, I haven't been following Absolute Batman, but you're still pretty
Yeah, I'm still reading
pretty
it.
happy with it.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
think so. It's up there in terms of my Absolute books.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. All right, I've got. Let's talk about while we're talking about Marvel and DC stuff, Godzilla versus X-Men, and I think we talked about. I think we were the one that talked about the. Get in focus there. There we go. What was the last one? Spider-Man that was
Spider-Man
set in
was-
like the '80s version of the character, and Hulk was set in the '70s version of the character, and I think we were like, oh. X-Men's 90s, totally 90s. Like first of all, right here, like this, like the double page spread, that's like a vertical spread. Like that's a very 90s thing. Like that's a Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld move right there to make to do like a vertical spread. And then yeah, like it's the 90s version of the characters right there.
Nice.
This is written by Fabian Nicieza, who is also a 90s X-Men writer. Yeah, called it. Good job. Yay. And art is by somebody who I'm not familiar with, Emilio Laizo, and he's definitely channeling some of that 90s style. Although it looks a little more modern for my taste. Like there's not enough cross hatching on these pages to really sell the 90s
Yeah.
style. But it's got this Gambit, like it's all very very 90s. But there's also a callback to, I guess I don't want to spoil too much of it, but the Super Adaptoid shows up, which is a character that the X-Men fought like in the 60s, which is, it's kind of cool that he's shown up. But yeah, I didn't enjoy this one as much as the Hulk or the Spider-Man ones. I still say so far I like those two the most. But you know what? At this point, if I read a series and I really like two issues, I'm pretty much just in for the long
Right.
haul, you know. So I did enjoy this one, and it's like it is the classic for me, the '90s versions of the characters, and there's a few, you know, like '90s references in there, but yeah. So it was. I don't have a whole lot else to say about it. It's like pretty good. I liked it way more than the Fantastic Four one,
Right.
but not as much as Spider-Man or Hulk,
Yeah.
honestly. But yeah, that's about it. Godzilla, X Men. You know, I think you pretty much know if you're going to get this book before even flipping through it. You
Yeah.
know. All right, we've got two more books to talk about. Let's talk about what you have right there first, and then we'll talk about this other book last.
Exquisite
Exquisite
Corpse.
Corpses. This is probably one of the biggest. This may be the, well, it's a Battle Beast and Exquisite Corpses are like the two big releases this week.
I'm surprised it was only $4.99 for how thick that book is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hefty. It's like an oversized book. It's like a 60 page book, something like that. But this is a new series from James Tinian, and it is, as we were talking about earlier, it takes place during Halloween. Did you read through most of this? I
I
forget.
got to basically the premise
Oh, okay,
of
okay. What,
when
what's the premise of this?
essentially there are ruling families that are kind of like they rule the United States from the underground and
They're
away
like the
from prying
secret
eyes.
power behind the scenes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And every 5 years they have a tournament of killers in which
Hmm.
each family has their own killer. They clear out um, a small town, and then they have the killers like fight each other to the death in that town, and that determines who rules America for the next 5 years.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like the secret election.
Right.
And yeah, they've got like some style with some of these characters. They're all like, it's like they're all presented as like representations of a weapon. So like the hammer, what was this one? The rope. And yeah, so there's a lot of exposition in this. It's
Yes.
it's a it's a large book, but it is like a lot of setup. And I appreciated the, like the, I appreciate a good like battle royale esque story where it's just like we're just gonna make people kill each other for fun and entertainment,
Yes.
which that, that worked. But yeah, there was a certain point where I was like starting to skim some of the dialogue where I'm like, let's get to the, get to the point here. And I think right at the open, I think, admittedly, this book probably didn't. It opens with like a clerk burnout kind of guy, like talking about conspiracy theories, and it just felt like a little bit of a cliche, which I feel like is what they're going for,
Right.
obviously, because it's like, only a loser idiot like this believes that there's a secret government that's actually controlling the street, and then of course it's
And
revealed
that
that
is right.
that he's right,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I couldn't figure out was why they're like in a town where like people can get killed. That wasn't really
It's
explained. they're
right.
they're just like, oh, we're just gonna, like, this town we're gonna mark as the battle zone. There was the one line of, I guess you didn't get to it, there was a line of dialogue where the character that's explaining most of the exposition, because most of the issue is, it's like you said, it's a hefty issue. So
Yeah.
it's like equal parts introducing to some of the townsfolk characters. It's introducing all of the killers that are going to show up for the tournament, and then also one of the characters trying to convince one of the killers to join her team. And she's the one that's giving all the
Yeah.
exposition of like, here's why we're doing this, and here's why I want you to, fight for my family. And there's like a part where she kind of, there's like a line that explains why it's so like wacky and cartoony, where it's like, yeah, it's a serious. I'm not going to necessarily flip to that page, but I just want to show off like it's got that like anime style where all the characters are like what this character's Rascal
Randy.
Randy, and he's like a guy in a bunny suit, and then like the congregation, he's like some guy tortures and sews skin suits for himself out of his victims,
Good.
and she's like explaining like, she's like, yes, this is a serious battle to the death, and whoever wins gets to be ruler of America and basically ruler of the world. And some people take it seriously, the people that really want to rule, but some people don't take it seriously and they don't actually care about ruling. So they just hire some psychopaths, and then they make side bets on like who's going to rack up the most kills or who's going to die first and things like that.
Oh,
So there's like this
jeez.
layer of like irreverent attitude of like even the people that are in charge don't really care.
Right.
uh, and that kind of explains why you have people in bunny costumes and like psychopaths that just want to like burn down the whole town. And
Yeah.
and when it's also like if this actually was a thing for controlling the world, like everybody, it would just be like Navy SEALs. You know what I mean? It would just be like a group of
Professionals.
professional killers. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought it's an interesting first issue. They're definitely making a big like push for it, like advertising it.
Right.
Like Image has really been putting a lot of press for it. So it's strong. The character on the cover gets not a lot of attention. So there's still a little bit of a mystery about like who
Yeah.
this character is. But the implication is that they've been involved in the battle before, which I think is like not necessarily supposed to happen, because I think you either die, you either
You
win,
either
you're the last
yeah.
one surviving, or everybody dies. So yeah, it'll be kind of interesting to see how that unfolds. But yeah, did you? I don't know. Like, I guess I've kind of like talked a lot. Did you have any other thoughts about it?
Not so I made it to literally the page where they introduced the first killer.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
that's all I got.
okay. So you got to like this page.
And then
All right.
7:30 rolled around and I was
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
like okay,
"Oh,
you got to do the
shoot."
stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's strong. It is. It's. I don't want to complain about it being wordy because I feel like it's all
There's a lot to set
there's a
up.
lot to set up, but also like I said, I don't really I didn't quite understand why they're setting up all the townsfolk here, other than like they're setting up like these people are all in danger for
Right.
what's happening. But I'm kind of curious to see how that ties into it, because I like I said, admittedly, I kind of glossed over it. So, you take that for what it's worth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It was
Pretty
pretty
good.
good from what you read.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
From
right.
what little I read.
All right. We got one more book to talk about. And this, I don't do this often. This is, I don't, maybe my favorite issue that I read for this week.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. Battle Beast was pretty good. That just like hit all the right. Like that reminded me of reading Invincible 20 years ago.
Nice.
But I really liked Supergirl by Sophie Campbell, because the other thing you know about me is I do like me some classic superhero comics, and this is like 100% a classic Supergirl story. Sophie Campbell is definitely channeling her inner like Silver Age, almost Silver Bronze Age. Um, excuse me. It's like it's pretty solid setup where it's just like a few pages of introduction to Supergirl. She beats a supervillain. She has to go into the bottle city of Kandor and do her rounds. There's like I like that it's again I've talked about this before about how like present day DC comics are really embracing some of the like silly Silver Age
Yeah.
stuff. Like you have the bottle city of Kandor, and she has a magic ring that she has to wear so that she still has her powers inside the bottle city of Kandor,
Okay.
and which is like a class that's a Silver Age Superman thing where it's
Yeah.
everything's just kind of magic, but it's not magic, it's Kryptonian science. But yeah, so like I do like that this comic embraces all that. It looks really good. Like, I
Yeah.
really like the coloring on here, like really bright colors. Sophie Campbell's art is really nice. It just has a real like it feels appropriate for Supergirl.
So
Like
Sophie Campbell wrote it and
she
did the
wrote,
art.
yeah, she writes and
Nice.
draws it. So which is another thing that I always appreciate when you have like a singular creator
Mm-hmm.
that can bring a vision to a book. Um, the basic plot, I think that's like my only thing I would say is this issue moves kind of not slowly, but like at a very deliberate pace of just kind of like getting to know Supergirl. Like we see her in like a little bit of action. We see her in Metropolis. We see her in the Bottle City of Kandor. We see her kind of like dealing with her parents, because she also has adopted parents like Clark
Okay.
Kent. She there's a lot to explain, like the origins of Supergirl. How I mean like this is seriously, I'm not trying to punk you. Do you know anything about
Not
Supergirl?
that much. I mean, so was she a resident of Candor before?
No,
No.
she was a resident of the city of Argos, which
Uh,
was in the Silver Age continuity, Krypton exploded, right?
Right.
Argos, I think in the original version, it survived the explosion. Like it was like a chunk of planet that like just blew off
And was fine.
and just like existed in space. They like, so her dad was also a scientist and he built like a dome around the city that protected them.
Okay.
And I think in later versions they were like not actually on Krypton. They were like a settlement on a different planet or a moon or something. But
Makes a little
that's
more
like
sense.
another thing with the Kryptonians though, like they didn't do space travel. That's another reason why like they couldn't leave the planet because
Right.
they just all died. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. The point is that she's the second to last survivor of Krypton after Clark. But then Argus also got destroyed for like they just like prolonged their destruction. So her dad sent her on a ship to follow Clark to Earth. But the main difference between the two is that Clark landed on Superman landed on Earth as a baby, where she was a teenager. So she grew up in Kryptonian
Right.
society and now has to acclimate to Earth. So there's like just like that little bit of a change to her, but kind of explains how her secret identity of Linda Danvers, and she has brown hair and she has a magic comb that she just like combs it and changes the color of her
Is
hair.
it magic or
It's
Kryptonian
Kryptonian
science?
science. Yes, exactly. But like, so there's like an interesting plot. She goes back to Midvale, and it's about halfway through where the plot kind of kicks into gear. And Midvale's like celebrating like home of Supergirl, which is like Smallville's thing.
Right.
Is they're like home of Superboy. Like everybody knows Superboy's from Smallville, but nobody's supposed to know that Supergirl is from Midvale because that was part of her secret identity. And I guess I don't want to spoil it too much, but also this is one of those things that I complain about in a lot of modern comics, and I wouldn't be doing my due diligence if I didn't complain about it here, even though it's a book that I liked,
Okay.
which is that like the hook for the story is also kind of treated as like a not a cliffhanger, but like a big reveal at the end of the book, which is, and so I guess I'll just say uh, there's another Supergirl in town. Like she goes back to her hometown, and there's somebody else that's like, "I'm Supergirl. You're an imposter." And now she's got to figure out like what's going on with this imposter Supergirl. And so I really liked it, but I do have to say I did think about that when I got to it, where I'm like, man, if this was like a 70s or a 60s issue, like that would have been on the cover. That would have been the like
Yeah.
like Supergirl like going home and then seeing another Supergirl or like in her Linda Danvers costume. Like there have been multiple Superman and Batman comics where that's the cover, where it's like Clark Kent like about to take off his glasses, and then there's like a Superman, and he's like, wait a minute, if that's Superman, like who am I, or something like that. And so like this is a nice cover. This is a very like it's a really nice drawing of Supergirl,
Right.
but like the story evoked that Silver Bronze Age for me, and I really wish it just had that like
On the cover.
classic cover of like Linda Danvers like with the thought bubble of like who's Supergirl? I'm Supergirl, or something like that, or like a classic Silver Age would be like her parents like greeting the fake Supergirl and her being like, "Why are my mom and dad talking to that fake Supergirl?" Something like that. And so again, it's like the fact that it's not on the cover makes it feel like it's supposed to be like a shock that that's what the story is, but also that's not. I don't know. That to me, that's not like a that should just be the hook. Like that's
Right.
what you should be selling the story as. So I don't know. I don't want to rant too much as an old man ranting about my old man comics, but I enjoyed this. This was good. She's definitely going for like a classic Silver Age, Bronze Age Superman story, and I do appreciate those.
Yeah.
So I do recommend it. Definitely check it out. All right, I think that's it. We're ending right on a little early actually, which is okay because last week I think we ran a little over.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all evens out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to our very very cool comic book preview stream that we do every Tuesday night here at Fantasy Books and Games. I'm Aaron. This is Sam.
Hey.
Like our friend Dan says, there's comics out there for everybody, so you should buy them from somebody, but you should definitely try to get them from us before you get them anywhere else, because you can come in here and talk to me and Sam about comics. All right, everybody, we're out of here. Bye. Have a good night.